Follow the money, folks. Donald Trump's campaign allegedly paid RFK Jr.'s law firm at least $100,000 that we know about 11 days after RFK Jr. dropped out and endorsed Donald Trump. Hat tip to the American muckrakers for breaking this story and getting their hands on these leaked documents. For now, we're saying allegedly, but AmericanMuckrakers.com got a copy of the legal contract between RFK Jr.'s law firm and Donald Trump's campaign, so we know at least $100,000 was paid. And then RFK Jr. endorses. Was that a quid pro quo? Let's just take a look at the source documents so you can see it for yourself. We're going to be looking at these FEC documents, which I think the latest they would have to be filed is October 15th by the Trump campaign to disclose this. We'll see if that's on the disclosure form. Let's pull open the source documents right here from American Muckrakers. Let's take a look at this agreement. You see the firm right here, J.W. Howard Attorneys. This is a legal services contract. It is a flat fee, meaning it's just basically a one-time payment for services rendered. Here's $100,000. It's not billing hourly like most lawyers do. It's just a flat fee. Here's $100K. Take a look right here at the letterhead. You see of counsel, RFK Jr. You see that on the top right? That shows you that this is where RFK works. Legal services contract, flat fee, client Donald J. Trump for President Inc. Client is Donald J. Trump for President Inc. Hereby retains the law firm J.W. Howard Attorneys Ltd. to represent client, so client always means Donald J. Trump, in the matter referenced above. In consideration of the legal services rendered by attorneys, client agrees to pay a flat fee, means a one-time payment of $100,000. The fee will be paid within 7 days of the date of that the parties execute this agreement. Let's take a look at what the scope of work for this flat fee is. Attorneys will provide client with the following services: political legal research regarding presidential candidate Kamala Harris, and any other services reasonably related to those services right here. It's interesting when you look at JW Attorneys in their website and see like the type of work that they do, or JW Howard Attorneys and the work they do. It says that they provide superlative representation to business leaders for more than 40 years. They are business litigators of the highest caliber. So what they do is business litigation, meaning they sue people and they defend people who are sued. They're not, at least based on this website, like a political research firm that would do opposition research on people like Vice President Kamala Harris, but apparently they're getting $100,000 immediately as RFK Jr. endorses Donald Trump. So you take a look at other sections of this retainer. It talks about there's disputes, talks about the client file. Otherwise, it's a pretty bare bones agreement. You see that it's signed by David Warrington on behalf of the Trump for President Inc. And then it's signed by someone on behalf of the J.W. Howard Attorneys, $100,000. There you go right there. And look, what's interesting about all of this, right, is that RFK Jr., had previously said that he was never going to endorse Donald Trump. If you look at all of the statements that RFK Jr.'s made, you hear my cute doggies in the background. If you take a look at all of the statements that RFK Jr. made in the past, he basically says that Donald Trump's the worst human being ever to live, essentially, if you take the cumulative nature of his statements. And here he is a year ago saying that he would have dropped out, that if he ever dropped out, he would never endorse Trump because his wife would divorce him. Play this clip.
So naturally, there's been calls for Trump to pick you to be his running mate. If Donald Trump picked up the phone right now, asked you to be his vice president, would you say yes?
No.
And why?
Well, first of all, I would be getting a divorce from my wife.
And let me show you here what Donald Trump had said about RFK Jr. in the past. Donald Trump said, "I'd even take Biden over Jr. because our country would last a year or two longer prior to collapse. It would be dead either way. His views," referring to RFK Jr. on the vaccine, "are fake, as is everything else about his candidacy." Here's another post by Donald Trump about him. "RFK Jr. is a Democrat plant, a radical left liberal who's been put in place in order to help crooked Joe Biden. A vote for Jr. would essentially be a wasted protest vote that could swing either way, but would only swing against the Democrats if Republicans knew the true story about him. He's anti-gun, extreme environmentalist who makes the Green New Scammers look conservative." Here's Donald Trump's top spokesperson, Caroline Levitt, call him a radical leftist. Here's what she has to say. Play the clip.
RFK Jr. is a radical leftist. He campaigned for Obama and Hillary in the past election cycles. He supports a 70% income tax on the American people. His energy agenda is more on brand with communist China than the United States of America. He's a radical.
Have you ever felt uneasy leaving your home, wondering if everything will be safe while you're away? I do sometimes. I just moved. You see the new background. I want to start off right with the right home security system that I can trust to cover all my bases. That's why I use Simply Safe. So what makes Simply Safe stand out for me? With Fast Protect monitoring and live guard protection, Simply Safe agents can act within 5 seconds of receiving your alarm and can even see and speak to intruders to stop them in their tracks. You'll never be locked into a long-term contract, which I like, and pricing is transparent and affordable at less than $1 a day with no hidden fees ever, which I think everybody likes. Simply Safe has been named the best home security system by U.S. News and World Report for 5 years running and offers the best customer service and home security according to Newsweek. It's easy to install and activate your Simply Safe system in less than an hour, or choose a professional installation to have a pro do it for you. So protect your home with 50% off a new Simply Safe system plus a free indoor security camera when you sign up for Fast Protect monitoring. Just visit simplysafe.com/Meidas. That's simplysafe.com/Meidas. There's no safe like Simply Safe. Here's how you spell it one more time. simplysafe.com/MEIDAS. That's simplysafe.com/Meidas. But then now we're learning that there was money exchanged here, apparently. And then there's an endorsement. Vice President Kamala Harris wouldn't even talk to RFK Jr. RFK Jr. said that when he spoke with Donald Trump, when he gave that endorsement in Phoenix, Arizona. Here's what RFK Jr. said in Phoenix a few weeks back. Play it.
And interfering with our elections. Following my first discussion with President Trump, I tried unsuccessfully to open similar discussions with Vice President Harris. Vice President Harris declined to meet or even to speak with me, suspending my candidacy.
Then RFK Jr. said that what his strategy was going to be is where he thought it would help Donald Trump, he would try to stay on the ballot. And where he thought it would hurt Donald Trump and he could be a spoiler, he would remove himself from the ballot. So he basically said that he was going to try to play games and manipulate the system to try to rig it in favor of Donald Trump. Here, play the clip.
Oh, I want everyone to know that I am not terminating my campaign. I am simply suspending it and not ending it. My name will remain on the ballot in most states. If you live in a blue state, you can vote for me without harming or helping President Trump or Vice President Harris. In red states, the same will apply. I encourage you to vote for me. And if enough of you do vote for me, and neither of the major party candidates win 270 votes, which is quite possible, in fact, today our polling shows them tying at 269 to 269. And I could conceivably still end up in the White House in a contingent election. But in about 10 battleground states where my presence would be a spoiler, I'm going to remove my name. And I've already started that process and urge voters not to vote for me.
Right, everything with these guys is always projection and confession. This was when Donald Trump, remember this leaked video that RFK Jr.'s own kid published? This is RFK Jr. when he called Donald Trump and this deal, I suppose, was being negotiated. Let's play it.
I agree with you, man. Something's wrong with that whole system. And, and it's the doctors you find. Remember I said I want to do small doses. Small doses. When you feed a baby, Bobby, a vaccination that has like 38 different vaccines, and it looks like it's meant for a horse, not a 10-pound or 20-pound baby. It looks like you should be giving a horse this. And do you ever see the size of it, right? It's this massive. And then you see the baby all of a sudden starting to change radically. I've seen it too many times. And then you hear that it doesn't have an impact, right? But you and I talked about that a long time ago. And anyway, I would love you to do stuff. And I think it'll be so good for you and so big for you. And we're going to win. We're going to win. We're way ahead of the guy. And, he's interesting. It was very nice, actually. He called me, and he said, how did you choose to move to the right? Because, so I guess that's, people say, if I was looking straight on, right? He said, I said, I was just showing a chart. I didn't have to tell him the chart was on all the people pouring into our country, right? But I just turned my head to show the chart. And something wrapped me. It felt like a giant, like the world's largest mosquito. And it was a bullet going right. What do they call that, an AR-15 or something? That was a big gun. Those are pretty tough guns, right?
And again, I want to give a special hat tip to the American Muckrakers. They do good research over there. Check them out, AmericanMuckrakers.com. I wanted to show you that source document so you could see it for yourself right there. And are there other documents like that? I mean, this was leaked. That's how we got it. But are there other documents and contracts and agreements like this out there? I'm sure there are. And it's all transactional. It's all payoffs in that world with Trump and everyone he's affiliated with. That's it. See through it. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million together. Thanks for watching.
Real quick, Meta just changed their algorithm to suppress political content. Please follow our Instagram @MeidasTouch right now as we head towards 400,000 followers so you don't miss a beat.